It's showtime.
Okay guys, welcome back. You are watching the STPL. My name is Kix, and you are joining me right now for White versus aSh. Now game 1, a little bit one-sided. Dentag did a decent job, but unfortunately wasn't enough to take down Ho in the end, the ex-Hype Sparkies pro gamer. But we're going to be heading into game 2 right now with 2 additional players here on a map that you may not have seen so far in the SCPL, as this is the first time it's appearing, but let's first introduce our players. Okay, so spawning up over here on the left hand side of your screen, we do have SAPPO for White. Now, SAPPO actually used to be, just actually double checking, am I missing something? Okay, that's fine. SAPPO is one of White's amateur players. He wasn't a pro gamer back in the day, but he's still a strong opponent here. He did only play one game in round 2. He did win that game, but he's going to be up against one of aSh's newest pickups. It's going to be SuperCyan. Now, SuperCyan could possibly show us how to go even further beyond here. He did lose his first game in the SCPL, but he's back here again in yet another PvZ, and this PvZ is going to be here on Athena 2. Now, Athena 2, a very cool map, very reminiscent. Okay, a better way of putting this is if you've seen the latest ASL, you will know of a map called Sylphid. Now, Sylphid is very heavily based on the layout of Athena 2 and Athena 1, of course. There is a little few differences, like there's parts behind the sort of mid high ground mineral onlys, and you've got 2 gas bases behind them that are quite easy to secure. Going to be very easy for our Protoss player to grab onto these late game. So it's going to be a little bit harder for the Zerg, but 3 Hatch Hydra Busts, very, very strong on this map. A lot of different options for both sides, however. We actually did have 3 ZVPs on here already in the show match series, and all 3 of them were won by Zerg, so let's see if SuperCyan can keep hold of the tradition to bring us to 1-1, or if SAPPO can take us to Game 3 with White at a 2-0 lead. Let's head on over to the game to find out. It's White SAPPO versus aSh's SuperCyan. It's Game 2, Week 3, Game 1. Or Set 1 of the STPL. Okay, so spawning over here in the 9 o'clock position, we do have the Purple Protoss fighting for White Clan. It's SAPPO. And his opponent down here in the 6 o'clock position is the Orange Zerg fighting for aSh. It's gonna be SuperCyan. I'm now going to be interested to see exactly how both players here are going to play out this series. We do have that pylon obviously going down. Looks like it's going to be a Forge Fast Expand here by SAPPO. Seems to be quite popular with the Protoss players on White. A lot of the PvZ we're seeing has started with a Forge Fast Expand. Now, Gateway First, very, very popular in Korea as well at the moment. Now, SuperCyan going to be going for that Overpull. Probably the most popular ZVP build at the moment. I think out of all of the ZVPs I've seen recently, sort of on pro gamer streams and sort of in ASL and things, most of them have started with that. Now we are going to have the Forge coming in by SuperCyan. Now one thing to note about this map is it's not that simple to wall off. You have to build a gateway here. You can even sometimes have to use your core if you want to add on to the wall, which is a little bit more dangerous, obviously, especially if you want to go for +1 air attack. Now, still, No hatchery coming in yet for SuperCyan. Looks like he's going to be sending the drone now. But SAPPO with the probe in position already. Gonna do what he can to block this. Now, SuperCyan's actually sending out a good couple of drones to actually do this. Now, SuperCyan had a chance to put down his hatchery, but did send the drone a little bit too far away. And SAPPO jumping back in there with that pylon, being as annoying as humanly possible. I know it looks like SuperCyan going to be able to take this third hatchery as his natural, but the trouble is that's going to open up the floodgates to a gateway to a lot of zealots going over there a little bit later on. And now the one benefit he does have is it is over this small bridge, so a little bit easier to defend than some of the other bases on this map. And also you do have this small choke here, so when you can get lurkers up in the late game, very hard for zealots to push through. Now, this poor drone is going to be attacking this for quite a while. SAPPO keeping up his probe micro did a pretty good job, but SuperCyan in pursuit with his lings. He did build a few extra lings compared to what he really did need. But he is going to have to try and block this probe from scouting this third hatchery, because he doesn't want SAPPO to know exactly where he's expanded to. And we do hear the pylon going in there in the background, so we should see that third hatchery coming up at 300 minerals. I'll be looking for that on the overlay, but it looks like we are going to see it a little bit later than maybe it could be. But here we go, the hatchery is coming in, so that's going to be 3 hatcheries pretty early on for SuperCyan. Now, Dentag opted to play a macro style against Ho in the last game. Is SuperCyan going to play a little bit more cheesy? Now, a lot can be said about someone like Dentag, who comes out against someone he knows is an ex-pro gamer and still tries to play macro, still does his best as well. And it may not work out, but that takes a lot of guts to do that. Now, SAPPO isn't an ex-pro gamer from what I understand, but SuperCyan likely going to be a level below, but obviously I don't have the ability to really say that too much. Just because I've not really seen SuperCyan play that much, so I mean, he could be a EVP Gosu for all I know. And the lair is coming up. Gonna see a Hydralisk in the main as well, so it's not going to be a 3-hatch Hydra Bust or anything. But this probe by SAPPO is still alive, still being as annoying as humanly possible. Gonna get the scout out on that lair and Hydralisk timing. And this is going to mean back at home, he is going to be feeling sorry, just lost my concentration, but gonna be feeling pretty safe back at home. He already has the 2 cannons. As you can see, he's not going for that full wall in. It's not really worth it at this point. We're gonna have the Stargate coming in. Thank you, King Lawn Gnome. That's a great username, by the way, for the follow. Welcome to the STPL. Hopefully you enjoy the show. It's gonna be around 3 nights a week for the foreseeable future, so if you do enjoy it, be sure to tune in again. But we're going to have that probe still being really annoying. Link speed actually being skipped for a very, very long time. But once link speed does come in, this probe should go down a little bit quicker. But this probe has got perfect scouting information over everything that's going on. And this is only going to be continued on by the Stargate. And we are going to have the Citadel coming in behind this as well. Now the probe is going to get in, see that the lair's finished, see that the Hydralisk is possibly upgrading. I can never tell if you can tell, just because I don't stare at it long enough. But that probe's still going to get away once again. The Ling actually could have killed it there, but it get a little bit confused. But SAPPO gave up on the micro there, thought it had died already. But we do see a good number of drones over here in the 3rd base creep colony, coming up to possibly help defend against this. Now the first Corsair is out and going to be moving across the middle of the map. Templar Archives coming in back at home for SuperCyan. He's going to be feeling pretty safe for the foreseeable future. But the first Corsair coming in, there's not actually any Hydralisks over here, which is a pretty big problem. We do see a sunken colony at the front, but unfortunately for him, the spine doesn't go all the way up into the sky. So he could actually lose an Overlord here. Now that isn't that surprising. Well, this is going to be the 2nd Overlord that goes down, so SuperCyan going to be set back a little bit more than maybe he would normally be, but he is building a surplus of Overlords at the moment, which makes me think he could be going into a little bit of a later Hydralisk bust, because we don't see a single Spire coming in or anything like that at the moment. No 4th or 5th hatchery, and it looks like this Corsair has finally met its match. Going to be forced away, going to be heading up to this 3rd base, wherein he will see this Hydralisk and no Spire either. So this is kind of an interesting situation. Now SuperCyan may be feeling a little bit under pressure here, so maybe he's messing around with his build a little bit, but you can see he's droning up quite heavily. Still no Spire on the way though. And I mean, with no Spire, these Corsairs are going to be as annoying as possible. Now we are going to see the Robo Facility coming up behind this for SAPPO. Now SAPPO has actually gone into double DT. They have run past this, and there's actually no Spore Colony here. Oh man, this could actually be a very, very big deal. I don't think SuperCyan is going to be able to hold on to this 3rd base. He does not have Overlord speed yet. So unless an Overlord pops out here, luckily, I mean the Spore Colony's starting up now, but he's going to be losing his drones. Wait. Oh my god. He actually lucked out. It looks like the looks like one of the Hydralisks took a hit there by SAPPO. Now the Spore Colony has finished, and the Sunken will do a decent amount of damage to this DT, but for how long? I mean, the DT, or the Spore Colony goes down, the Sunken's going to go down as well. And unfortunately, it looks like SAPPO has broken the 3rd base, and SuperCyan forced to pull back. He didn't actually build an Overlord over here. He's been waiting, I think, for Overlord speed to finish. Wait, did he get dropped first? That's Overlord speed, isn't it? Oh man, this could be the perfect counter to what SuperCyan was going for. I think he was going for like a slow Overlord drop with Lurkers or something, because we still don't see a Spire. But this 3rd hatchery going to be going down. We see a Creep Colony being added on over here, but still no Overlord being added on. And I think this is going to be the end here for SuperCyan. There's not really too much SuperCyan has that can deal with it. He did go for drop first. I think that was likely a mistake where he felt under so much pressure. And without Overlord speed, it's going to take an absolute year to get over there to save that base. I mean, the base has already gone down. SAPPO pushing out with his +1 Zealot. He actually went for double Forge, which are kind of interesting, but this will make this push even stronger than it already is. I mean, there is a lot of Hydrals here at the front. They are going to be able to do a decent job taking down some of these Zealots, but these Dark Templar coming in as well, going to be doing a lot of damage to this Hydralisk count. And I mean, the Hydra's getting a little bit caught out in the open. Going to have to fall back behind the SimCity for now. But a nice storm going down on top of these Hydras as well. And SAPPO looks like he's just got too much. A nice storm on the Romanian Hydralisks. And unfortunately for SuperCyan, it looks like he has nothing left to defend. And SAPPO is going to take the game there. GG. And SAPPO takes down SuperCyan. Okay, so, I mean, that is going to be a little bit of a quicker game, and that is going to take us into a short break just to give me a chance to get some more water. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back after the break with our Katrina game for this series. See you guys very soon.